Hey, assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. This is your brother Saad Quadri, taking a few minutes break from doing some grading, and I wanted to actually speak to you guys about the value of the month. As March is winding down, and the value of this month was patience or a sabr, we sort of got to see really firsthand the type of patience sometimes a person needs to do that which we thought would be easy. If we had asked anyone a month or two ago, how would you like to have 2 weeks away from school and really at this point no interaction with your teachers face to face, not have to come to school, everyone would say, oh, I love it. I'm totally ready. I'm totally in. But now, just a few weeks later, what do we find? That people are itching to get back to school. They want to get outside. They want life to return to normal. And I understand, and that's part of the process of sometimes facing a difficulty head on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions in Quran, in Surah Al-Asr, this idea of being patient. And he swears by time. He begins the surah swearing by time, taking an oath by time, wal asr. This is interesting because when Allah takes an oath by something, He takes an oath by something important. When we take oaths, we do the same thing as well. If someone tries to convince, for example, Brother Mirsad, Wallahi, I wasn't late for class. Or they might tell, Miss Ahmed, the principal, Wallahi, I didn't say that to the teacher. They say Wallahi, they use Allah's name because they want to show, use something very important, the most important thing to a believer, Allah, as what they're going to take oath by. When Allah swears by something in Quran, He uses important things as well. Washams, He swears by the sun. Wal-layl, He swears by the night. Wal-qalam, He swears by the pen, which is the first creation of Allah Ta'ala, the first object created by Allah. And so when Allah Ta'ala, when He swears by these things, what He's doing is that He's taking important things and He's swearing by them so that we can see that whatever He's going to say next is very important. In Surah Al-Asr, what does He say? He says, Wal Asr. He swears by time. Inna insan lafi khusr, verily mankind is at loss. Why are we at loss? Because we don't take advantage of our time. We don't take advantage of our time. So how does a person take advantage of our time? Illa alladhina amanu, by believing, wa amanu salihat, and filling it with good deeds, wa tawasaw bil haqq. And we try to encourage one another to do towards the truth, wa tawasaw bis sabr, and we encourage one another towards patience. But this time we have to really encourage ourselves. How do we encourage ourselves? Encourage those around us towards patience. I want to share one quick story. That's a hadith in the life of the Prophet ﷺ. I think will really help put this into perspective. Anas bin Malik, Anas radiallahu anhu, who was the servant and khadim of the Prophet ﷺ for the bulk of his youth. He mentions that one time Rasulullah ﷺ visited the home of Abu Saif. Who was Abu Saif? Abu Saif was a blacksmith. And he was the husband of the wet nurse, the caretaker of the son of the Prophet ﷺ, Ibrahim radiallahu anhu. Now, because Ibrahim radiallahu anhu was in their home a lot of that smoke and soot from the smithing of Abu Saif, he inhaled it, Ibrahim, this young infant, and it made his lungs become very heavy until the sickness reached him that he wasn't able to breathe properly. And the Prophet ﷺ, this is his son. His other two sons have passed away. The majority of his children have passed away. Both of his sons, we refer to Qasim and Abdullah, have both passed away in their infancy. Then he has four daughters, and three of the four, Zainab, Ruqayya, and Kulthum radiallahu anhunna, have passed away in his life while he's alive. And Fatima radiallahu anha only lives a short while after the Prophet passed away, and she passed away too. Ibrahim, he was a young boy, about 1.5 years old, from different descriptions of him. And he is at the home of Abu Saif. The narration mentions that we entered the house of Abu Saif, and the Prophet ﷺ took Ibrahim, and he kissed him, and he smelled him. Oftentimes, parents, they smell their child to get that beautiful young child or baby smell. And Ibrahim is very young at this point. And then, what does the narration mentions? ثم دخلنا عليه بعد ذلك وإبراهيم يجود بنفسه. Ibrahim radiallahu anhu, he was in his last stages of his life. He was taking his last breath. So you imagine the Prophet's son is dying in his arms. فجعلت عينا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تدري. تذرفان. The Prophet's eyes begin to flow. فقال له عبد الرحمن bin Auf. Abdul Rahman bin Auf, he sees this, he says, "O Messenger of Allah, وأنت يا Rasulullah, you too?" Because he had this idea that it's not showing patience to cry. It's not showing patience to show that we're not happy. And the Prophet, what does he say? Yabna Auf, O son of Auf, innaha rahma, this is a mercy. Then what happens? The Prophet stays with Ibrahim. And as Ibrahim, he's struggling to breathe and he's passing away, he says what? Inna al-ayn tadma, that the eye it weeps. Wal qalb yahzan, in my heart it breaks, it grieves to see you leaving. وَلَا نَقُولُ إِلَّا مَا يَرْضَى رَبُّنَا. I'm not going to say anything except that which Allah is happy with. وَإِنَّ بِفِرَاقِكَ يَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ لَمَحْزُونُونَ. And we're so sad to see you leave this world, O Ibrahim. Let's just look at this for a moment. Was the Prophet ﷺ's heart breaking? Yes. Was his body reacting in a way to show his heartbreak? Yes, it was. But this wasn't a lack of patience. What he had control over, لا نقول إلا ما يرضى ربنا. The way he spoke, the way he reacted, the things he had control over, that's where he showed his patience. So now for all of us who are sort of stuck at home and don't know what to do, recognize, isbiru wa sabiru wa rabitu. We should have patience. We should compete in patience, meaning what? We should try to make sure that that which we have control over, our tongues, in our actions, should at least show gratitude. How should we do this? Take advantage of the time. Do all those things that you want to do that you did not have time for before. Make dua to Allah to end this. Thank Allah for this opportunity to spend more time with the family and with time to catch up on worship or catch up on sleep, and find the good in these moments. I'm missing all of you. I'm loving my time at home with my daughters, my sons, my wife. We're spending time together, doing things we didn't have time before. And when you do this, this is a sign of gratitude. And gratitude is a way to show that you're being patient. So I wanted to go 5 minutes. I went 6 minutes. I'm going to stop over here. I look forward to seeing you all very soon, inshallah. Until then, maybe in a few days, I'll send another video your way. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is your brother Saad signing off.